What's up, everybody? Here I go. Yo, what's my meekness food? All right. I'm actually having like a salt and pepper soup day today, so this is going to be very interesting, very fun. So as you all know, today we are speaking about inflammation. Very, very important for the body. Now, why? I always hear this. Keisha, is inflammation good? Is inflammation bad? I love that question. What I actually want to explain to all of you today is that actually it depends, okay? And I'm going to explain both ways as to why, when inflammation is good and when it can be bad, okay? So let's first of all understand, what the heck is inflammation? We always use this word, right? Oh, I have inflammation. What the hell does that mean, all right? So I'm going to explain it to you right now. Inflammation basically means that at a localized area in the body, that you basically have redness, swelling, you have basically like, sometimes it looks like almost like a ball kind of thing. So for instance, okay, let's say you're out and you get hit, right? Or something happens and you break a part of your bone or something like that. What ends up happening is you have everything that basically goes to your defense mechanisms, your white blood cells. They run to that site of that area and they actually help to protect it. Okay, and how they protect it is through inflammation, all right? It's that inflammatory response where you get that big bulging in a specific area. That's the site of inflammation, okay? And that's actually to help to protect surrounding areas of the rest of your body, okay? So that it doesn't actually damage it. Now, in that way, inflammation can be good, not the end result, of course, of it, but I mean in terms of the protection, in terms of what it does. Now, when it comes to inflammation within the body, now when we're looking at diseases, right, a disease in the body or a condition, that's when it plays a major role. And I'm going to explain why, okay? So when we speak about, let's say, for instance, you know, I have arthritis, I have osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, all the things that end in itis, I-T-I-S, by the way, that means inflammation, okay? Just so you know. So anytime you see a condition that ends in I-T-I-S, it actually means inflammation of, and then wherever it may be on the body, okay? So when it comes to that now, that's actually, now we're dealing with more of like autoimmune, we're dealing with like now immunity, right? That is where now we have an issue, because what ends up happening is the inflammation within our whole body now is actually dispersed, right? So sometimes it still is localized, so let's say, you know, in our hands and the joints and things like that, but again, now we also have something, the autoimmune disorders, which also end up happening all around the body, okay? And why is that? Why does that happen? Well, we always hear this, my body's attacking itself, right? That's the one thing that, you know, you may hear from doctors, you may hear from people, that it's basically the body is not recognizing the foreign, that, you know, your body's okay. It thinks that there's something foreign in your body, and that's when you have the immune system attacking itself, okay? So what I want people to understand is when it comes to autoimmune diseases and things like that, so fibromyalgia is one of them actually, outside of arthritis and all that. Gout is very, very important to understand, because gout is actually a cause of arthritis, okay? It's actually one of the end results. And what happens in gout, which is so crucial and important, which people fail to realize here, is that it actually attacks the nervous system, right? Because you have all that uric acid buildup, basically, and it crystallizes, so it becomes almost hardened, almost like sea salt, okay? So imagine a bunch of sea salt within your body, okay? And especially going down to, let's say, you know, the big toe, because that's usually one of the symptoms, is where your big toe is affected, okay? And that's how a lot of people know that they actually have gout within them, okay? So something to understand is keep yourselves healthy and clean. And how are we going to do that? We're going to do that using antioxidants. Now, can anybody tell me some antioxidants? Okay, so we have, for instance, turmeric, which we're actually going to use today, okay, because we are going to be making a sweet potato, carrot, ginger, turmeric soup. Woo! That was a mouthful, all right? It tastes super yummy. It is great when it comes to the gut and when it comes to also decreasing inflammation in the body. So turmeric is actually one of the best spices that I love to use. You can even use it in chicken, season a little bit of your chicken with it. In curry, they use this a lot in curry powders and things like that. So love turmeric. Kind of has a potent kind of medicinal smell kind of thing. It doesn't smell all that good, but it tastes awesome, okay? Then we are going to use some basil. I love basil leaves, okay? It's so fresh and clean, and it's very herbaceous. I love using more of the herbaceous herbs because I also do find that when you do use, again, your herbs and spices help to heal, okay? Understand that, everybody. Herbs and spices help to heal. If you're eating bland food, you are not helping yourself to heal. If you are eating foods with preservatives, with chemicals, with additives, with crap and garbage, you are not helping your body to heal, all right? Let's understand that first and foremost. You are actually adding in more toxins into the body, and so your body, especially the liver, is doing overtime to try to fight all that and to try to rid everything out of your body, okay? So please, let's help it. Let's help the colon rolling a little bit more, all right? Use your herbs and spices. Then we have some basil. So again, part of the whole, the oregano family, again, the parsley family. Love herbaceous herbs. I know that it has a very pungent smell, but again, you don't need a lot of these herbs, okay? You can use anywhere between, let's say, 1 teaspoon to 1 tablespoon. And the soup that we're going to make today, you're going to see that, well, I love herbs, so I use just a little bit more, a little bit extra. But again, we're going to use anywhere between 1 teaspoon to 1 tablespoon, depending on the herb, okay? If you don't like it, like I said, leave it out. Try something different, okay? Try something new. Then we are going to have, maybe I should show you guys a little bit something here. All right, okay, so here we go. This is what everything looks like, okay? So we have our herbs. We have some green onion, alrighty. So we are going to chop that up and put it in a pot. We have some celery. Celery is great, anti-inflammatory. Why? Water. It contains a lot of water, right? Like cucumbers. It's very, very good at the cellular level because it helps to heal. Never forget, remember one thing, okay? When it comes to inflammation, what happens again at the site of inflammation? So let's say again, it's on your hands or anything like that, right? It's in the joints, let's say. When it comes to inflammation and the localization of inflammation, again, there's the redness, there's the swelling. So things such as eating whole foods, okay, such as celery, using your herbs and spices such as turmeric, the basil, ginger, very, very good, anti-inflammatory. It's actually a high level of an antioxidant. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, okay? At the site of any of that, what happens is when you intake this, when you eat these, it actually helps to neutralize and it helps to calm down that redness, helps to calm down that swelling, okay? And you can also, it's also like, think about it when you get burned, right? What happens when you get burned? There's heat, right? There's a lot of heat there. So what do you want to do? You want to cool it down, right? But you don't want to use, again, right away too cold on something hot, right? So anyways, so we have that. We have some carrots. Carrots are great. We know high in vitamin A and all of that good stuff. But also what I want you to understand too is too much of something can also be not so good for you. I'm not going to say bad for you, but I'm going to say not so good for you. Why do I say that? Because carrots are still very high in sugar, okay? So what you always want to do is anytime, when you have a particular condition or a dis-ease in the body that leads to inflammation, what I'm saying here is, again, we want to neutralize it. We're going to neutralize it with antioxidants. We're going to neutralize it with anti-inflammatory herbs and spices such as the turmeric, the basil, the oregano. Okay, onions as well. We're going to use some onions. I know a lot of people are like, ugh, onions. They're actually really, really good for you, and especially the immune system. It helps to boost the immune system too, believe it or not. And again, if you don't like it, substitute it out for like even green onions or maybe a red onion, like Spanish onions, where they're a little bit sweeter. Or just hide it in your food, to be honest. Cut it up really, really small and just hide it in the foods, okay? And one of my favorite root vegetables from the Caribbean, sweet potato. Now, you hear this all the time. I was told sweet potato is bad for you. It's a bad carb. No, it's not. Okay, one of the understandings with sweet potato is it's actually something called a complex carb. anytime something is complex, anytime you hear a complex carb, what it means is it actually gives you energy and it sustains and maintains your blood sugar levels over a longer period of time. Okay? So let's say, for instance, a sweet potato versus a banana. Banana you eat right away, and what happens? The sugars disperse right away, instantly within 30 minutes, okay? So you may get that high, and then sometimes you may get that really low, or that real crash, right? Where you're like, oh, I need a coffee or something, right? Something more sugary. What happens in the sweet potato is it's actually something called low in the glycemic index, which means the sugar content is actually low. It's actually lower than white potatoes, believe it or not. And it helps to maintain, okay, like I said, the energy levels and sustain the blood sugar levels throughout the day, okay? So let's get cooking, y'all. I'm super excited. So what we're going to do, we are going to fill a pot here. Now, it all depends. If you're cooking for your family or anything like that, of course, use a bigger pot, right? Right now, I'm just doing it for myself, so I'm just going to use a smaller pot. And what you're going to do, you're basically going to add everything in the pot. So we have our green onion, and we're just going to slice this, okay? We're just going to cut that up here. And how we're cutting that up is we are actually doing it like so. So again, what I love about this soup, it takes anywhere between basically 15 to 20 minutes to make, 30 minutes max, you know, with everything else, with the chopping and the prepping and all of that. But you don't need to cut everything so small. Honestly, just do it in big chunks and you're good, okay? Because it's actually gonna get steam. It's gonna simmer down anyways, and we're gonna pulverize it later, okay? So meaning in a blender, we're gonna use it. So again, and we have our celery. So give that a rough chop here. Okay, celery in the pot. Dun, dun. We have our carrots, and I'm just gonna break them. The mighty mouse. All right. So we're using 2 carrots. You can use 3 carrots. It's up to you what you would like. I like using 3 carrots, and then what I would use is 2 to 3 sweet potatoes. So 2 carrots, 2 sweet potatoes, or 2 carrots and 3 sweet potatoes. The reason why it all depends on the thickness of your soup as well. I like mine a little bit thick, but also with a little bit more of a thinner consistency, right? A thinner texture. And we're gonna do our sweet potatoes. So again, rough chop. Now, you can leave the skin on in this recipe. That is a-okay. What I've done, I actually just brush my vegetables. So I actually have a fruit and vegetable brush, and I actually just brush it, okay, the skin, and I put it in. Again, extra fiber. Keeps the colon rolling, man. That's something you want, trust me. Okay, and in the pot it goes. Ginger. Now I usually say use a sliver of ginger. You can begin with that, and then you can always add more, right? And also you can use some ginger powder as well in that. If you are going to use ginger powder, I would say start with 1 teaspoon, and then you can always work your way up. I love root ginger though. Again, everything in its more natural state, natural form is the best, and it just tastes so good. Oh, so I'm going to put this big thing in. There we go. And some onions. Now we are going to add anywhere between 3 to 5 cups of water. Again, if you're using a small pot, right, you're going to use less. You're going to use more of 3 cups. If you're going to do a bigger pot, then you would do 5 cups, okay, of water. So let's get that going. We're just going to pour that in the pot here. Super excited. That's about 3 cups, like this. Whoop! See that? You should see how it smells. It already smells amazing. And we haven't even added in the herbs and the spices yet. Super exciting. Okay. So what we're going to do, we are also going to add the 1 teaspoon or 1 tablespoon. In this case, I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of turmeric powder. You can also use the root. That's okay. And we're also going to use some oregano. Again, you can use a 1/4 teaspoon if you would like of oregano, or you can use 1 teaspoon. And when it comes to basil, I like to use about 1/2 teaspoon of basil. So we're going to put that in there. Alrighty, we're going to come over to the stove and we're going to put that on. So look at that. So we're gonna get that all boiled up. Get that bubbling and boiling. Okay, so in the meantime, what we're gonna do here, I've already started a pot where I already finished simmering down everything in here. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna blend everything, okay, together. Alrighty. So get your trusty blender out, and we're gonna add everything into the pots. Like mini pumpkins into the pots. Alright. So get that going. It smells so good. Okay. Now I know it's a really hot day and some people are like, you're making soup! How are you eating soup? Actually, I find that soup actually is a lot cooling. Believe it or not, it's kind of the opposite, right? It comes to that. Okay. And again, you know, what I always mention to people is it's never too late or you're never too early to start eating great whole food nutrition, especially things that help to boost the immune system, right? Get your immune system up. Keep your immune system up. That's very, very important. When it comes to, again, any autoimmune disorders, diseases in the body or conditions, that's something that's going to help a lot. Antioxidants, okay? It's never too early, never too late. Get your antioxidants up. How do we do that? Whole food nutrition. So if you want to speak about berries, berries have some great antioxidant properties. Like I said, turmeric. Go for more cooling fruits and vegetables as well, such as cucumbers, such as celery. Use some pears, right? Things that also have high fiber contents. Also, I want to mention, when it comes to inflammation or autoimmune disorders as well, which, you know, lead to, of course, inflammation. Inflammation is one of the key factors here when it comes to a lot of disorders or conditions that involve the immune system, right? A weakened immune system. So that's something that we want to help to reduce, right? And one of the ways to do that as well is to increase your EFAs, your essential fatty acids. Eat a good fatty acid. What the hell am I talking about, right? Avocados, so good for you, right? Take a great, let's say if a fish oil, for instance, if you would like, again, the smaller the fish, the lower in the mercury content, okay, and toxins and chemicals. So keep it small fish, okay? You want to look for some things that have like mackerel or have sardines, that kind of fish. A lot better than a salmon oil, okay, which has, it's a bigger fish, higher levels of mercury and all that, you know, garbage and stuff that they intake into their bodies. So just be mindful of that as well, right? So you have your antioxidants, right? Use your herbs and spices as well that are that have antioxidant properties, okay? Then a good essential fatty acid. You can also use, let's say if we're going more vegan or vegetarian sources, hemp seeds. Hemp seeds so great for the body. You're getting your EFAs, but not only that, you're also getting protein in it as well, which is so good for you. And it actually has an oil too. They have a hemp oil, which tastes so good. So use things like that. Also your chia seeds, right? Ground chia seeds, use all of that. Use a good fiber content. What am I talking about when I speak about fiber? Again, this has a lot of fiber content, which is the skin on fruits and vegetables. But not only that, intake, you know, anywhere between, let's say, 20 grams to 30 grams of fiber per day. And so flax seeds. We spoke about this, I think, the last video where I spoke about, you know, having whole ground seeds and actually using them, like pulverizing it as you go along. Use them as needed, right? But also make sure that you always intake ground flax seeds as opposed to whole, right? Buy it whole and blend it down, okay, as needed. Also, very, very important, something that a lot of people shy away from, probiotic. Probiotics are so great for the body. And why? Because probiotics help to restore the good bacteria in the body. So, okay, when we speak about inflammation, we have to look at everything else. We have to look at bacteria, right? We have to look at, of course, the redness and swelling, which are the physical signs. But sometimes we don't see what's happening internally, especially at the nerve or cellular level. I have a perfect picture for you. All right. Hot dog. This hot dog is like your nerves, okay? And then we have, oops, I'm just pushing everything down here. The hot dog is going to act like our nerves. The bun is going to act like they call it a sheath, the myelin sheath. So in English, all it is, it's basically tissue, okay? That's around it. This is what your nerve looks like. So it's protected, okay? It's protected by this tissue and everything. What ends up happening is over time, okay, is it slowly breaks away. The tissue, right? Slowly breaks away. So the bread comes off. What happens is your nerve is exposed, right, at the cellular level. So what ends up happening is we are more susceptible to things such as, you know, the arthritis, the more autoimmune disorders. And why? What the hell? What happens, right? What happens over time? Again, this is years in the making, right? Anywhere between 7 to 10 years. And what ends up happening is, again, you know, not intaking enough fiber, let's say, not getting, you know, proper whole food nutrition at the cellular level. Eating like shit, let's just be honest, right? The preservatives, the additives, all that garbage that we intake into our bodies, it actually destroys at the cellular level, at the nerve, right? And then what happens when this falls off? The nerve is exposed. And that's when we have the most autoimmune, the most issues within our body. That's why it is so important to keep our cells healthy with the whole food nutrition, with the antioxidants, with fiber, with proper healthy eating, okay? Fruits and vegetables, lots of fruits and vegetables. Why? Because we want to keep this protected. Okay, isn't that an amazing analogy? I know, I love it. Ugh, hot dogs. Anyways, okay, so let's get back to our soup. I hope everybody understood that. If you have any questions for me when it comes to any of this, please don't hesitate to ask as we're going along, and I'm going to answer it for you to the best of my abilities so that we can all understand and to learn here. Because this is all about learning, okay? It is all about learning. Nobody's perfect. We all like to indulge and to enjoy. I just had the best carrot cake last night, okay? It's so great, even though it was vegan. It doesn't matter. It was so amazing. But guess what? That's okay, all right? Just make sure, yet again, you're able to protect your body, especially your immune system. That is so important, okay? We're talking about immune system, keeping it healthy, inflammation. Keep the inflammation down, all right? And we have our soup, and we are ready to blend. So let me put the top on this bad boy, and let's get this rolling. All right, I'm gonna show you here. And, okay, I can't do this all at once, so we're just gonna put that down. And, okay, so we're gonna get this going. Oh, loves this already. And there we go. Again, you don't need a fancy blender, okay? A basic blender will do the job for us. Woo-hoo! This is like soup in a jar. All right. And I think it's done. Beautiful. Now, here is our soup. Ooh, it's nice and hot too already. I'm super excited. I can't wait to eat it. Now, there's one of two ways that you can actually enjoy this soup, okay? What I would suggest is you can actually just put it directly into the bowl. And what I do is I put it back on the stove, and you can actually warm it up. And what I would say at that point is add some hemp seeds in it. You can add some chia seeds. Chia seeds are actually going to thicken it because of that gelatinous texture, okay? So never forget that. That's why it'll come out a little bit more thicker. And then hemp seeds is a great protein source. So if you do want to keep this vegetarian, then add some hemp seeds, right, for the protein if you would like. Or you can add chicken, right? You can add fish. You can add whatever it is that you want, or just have it on the side kind of thing. But I'm going to intake this like that. Let's get this going. And we're just going to pour this in our bowl here. All right. Look at that. See how thick that is? Super good. It smells amazing. You can smell the ginger in it. You can smell the turmeric. Super yummy. I can't wait to dig in. I'm going to dig into this. All right. And okay. So good. Use a tad bit more salt, but so good. So we're gonna do that now. Okay, so sweet potato, carrot, ginger, turmeric soup. Again, let's recap quickly. We have the sliver of the ginger, okay? You have 2 or 3 sweet potatoes. Again, 2 or 3 carrots. 2 celery stalks. 1 onion, and again, diced. These are roughly chopped, and just put it into the pot in either 3 to 5 cups of water, okay? Also, again, add to that your green onion. Don't forget about that. And you can actually add some garlic too, some actual garlic cloves if you would like, okay? Then you're gonna add 1 tablespoon of turmeric. If you don't like too much turmeric, then again, just reduce that to 1 teaspoon. You'll add some oregano. Again, that can be 1 teaspoon of oregano. And some basil. You can do half a teaspoon of basil. Half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon of basil, okay? Sea salt to taste, okay? You can add some black pepper as well if you would like. I'm not too fond of black pepper, and that's just my personal preference, okay? So again, you're gonna let that simmer in the pot, and anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes, and you wanna do it anywhere between medium to high heat, okay? So you wanna get it bubbled, just get it all bubble up, all right? Then, once that's done, allow it to cool, and then you will add that into your trusty blender, and just blend. Pulverize until it's smooth, and away you go. You have your soup. Again, you can have it fresh like that, directly from the actual blender. Again, if you want it a little bit more heated up, then what I would suggest is add it back into the pot and just warm it up a little bit more. Okay, so I hope this has been fun and eventful for everybody, because I freaking love this. This is super amazing. I have to take some more. So hungry. So good. And again, just recapping everything when it comes to inflammation, okay? When it comes to autoimmune disorders, the most important thing that we can do for our bodies is to help it heal at the cellular level. You need to give it time. Give your body time. If you are intaking alcohol, preservatives, additives, garbage sugars, okay, from like, let's say candies, chips, cookies, all that stuff, that is actually not helping you to heal. It's going to add more toxins within the body. So please be mindful as to what it is you're putting into your body. Be mindful as to the goal. What is it that you want to achieve in your body? Okay, we have to build. It's a foundation, it's a building block. We have to build our immune systems. We have to keep it healthy, especially with what is happening with our environment, right? Especially with our foods, with the GMOs and all that stuff. Eat locally, okay? Wherever you can, whenever you can, eat locally, okay? And again, whole food nutrition heals. You can always ask me. I know firsthand, okay? Because that's what helped me to heal my own gut, my own digestive ailments, and help to feed myself, and it's gonna feed the world, okay? Feed the need. So again, please, 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 whatever it is that you are doing, no matter what, build your immune system, okay? Make sure that your cells are clean at the cellular level. Very, very important. Make sure the organs are clean, especially your liver. And we will talk about this, okay? We'll go through certain, liver detoxes, kidneys, all that, and, get into things that I do, right? I will actually show you guys in terms of what is it that Keisha does all the time, So again, from my kitchen to yours, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here with me today and for seeing this video of the soup, because I'm going to go and eat this. I'm starving right now. I love this. And we will see you next Tuesday at 12 o'clock, all right? Again, this is Cooking with Keish. Health is wealth, and keep the colon rolling, y'all. Bye.